and he shot the ducks, and this is what started the business. Some of these hunters will bring their family during the weekend to look at the awesome sight of the ibis, and the trade developed like that, and he started to have more people making requests to come and see the ibis. And we had small boats then, and these rivers were tiny rivers, and he became the first game warden for this area. And he petitioned the government, after the business started to develop, he petitioned the government to set up the first sanctuary in CARONI Swamp in 1948. In 1948, I had a list of the names of over 200 people. Some of the British aristocrats and wealthy people of Port of Spain who used to hunt in here signed the petition, and we took it into forestry under the CEO of forestry was a guy called Murray, and within a couple of months it went through legislation and CARONI Swamp became a sanctuary. And he was chosen as the first game warden for this area. But we grew up in a family that is environmental friendly. My children are running these tours. I lead a lot of environmental tours. Bird watching is what I specialize in. And I do tours not only in Trinidad, all over from Costa Rica down to Brazil, leading expedition for companies away. So,
what about pollution?
Pollution in CARONI Swamp is still at a level where the swamp could tolerate it. But if it continues, then it will start to impact on the swamp. Mangroves have the ability to clean pollution out of the swamp. It has that ability. But if we start putting too much, then it will impact. The impaction will be too high, and then the plants will not tolerate it. Also, when this area had fresh water, the north-south embankment, just on the western side of this river, there used to be an embankment that went all around from where we took the boat, came down to Blue River and went all around to Felicity. And you had the sluice gate in Felicity that was operated. That embankment, this area used to be fresh water. And it had water hyacinth and nymphaea and cordgrass and bunch grass. Now water hyacinth is a plant that thrives on pollutant. So if you have a polluted area and you establish a colony of water hyacinth, it will filter out the pollutant and purify the water. The only thing is that water hyacinth, if you don't control it, it could overgrow into and choke up channels and cover the area completely. So there's a plus and a minus with that particular plant, and this is why it's not established in area. But it deals with pollution quite nicely.
Hey boss, during the distillery days in CARONI, the effluent from the river there, is it what effect it had?
Well, it's still, when they wash those vats and they throw that waste into the CARONI River, it used to pollute the river to the point where the water get black. It kill all the marine life because some of that water used to be heated hot as well, and it would kill the life, and within a week the whole area will be polluted. And skimming, as we know, the whole area would be skimming. But it takes about 2 or 3 weeks to clean out itself after that. Very gradually with the tidal movement, it moves it back and forth until it breaks it down. So after when skimming was released, as we know it, it will take about 3 weeks to a month to clean, and the river will come back good again, except for a new set of wildlife will have to grow, because with that transition of throwing the skimming in there, it will kill out all the marine organism, all the fishes and stuff like that will die off, and then after a while they reintroduce themselves. But we had several reports against CARONI Limited and a number of factories that release their pollutant into rivers And the, the Institute of Marine Affairs collected samples, and we were able to identify the different chemicals and waste that was there. But the government never did anything really, except to collect it and analyze it and then stay quiet. Nobody.
As far as I could remember, when the people started to complain about the water in the river, they run pipeline.
They brought it in the rice field, yeah. Yeah, but when the rainfall, that used to overflow and pollute the air. You must drink a lot of rum. All right, okay. I had a niece who used to mix the CARONI rum. She was one of the, she used to blend the rum for CARONI in the lab, yeah. Well, I know if they had a taste for the blending, you know. Any questions?
Yeah.
Over here.
No, they never used it for anything. No. It grew in the freshwater area, and when they couldn't control it, it will grow and cover the river. And then when you had rain and you had flooding, it would push it all down here. Well, now we don't have the amount of rainfall because they built the Arena Dam. Most of the water going into the dam before it comes down the CARONI River. Yeah. Yeah, this is why the CARONI River is so low it don't have water anymore. But the CARONI River before they built the dam used to be high. You know that.
Yeah. Have you seen any effect on mangrove of the rise in sea level with global warming?
No. Mangroves are salt-tolerant plant, and they will grow. In fact, look how luxuriant these are, nice and green and beautiful. This is one of the most beautiful swamps in the whole Western Hemisphere. I have been to almost all of these swamps, and none is as beautiful as CARONI swamp. None as luxuriant as CARONI swamp. And the salt water will not have any effect on. What we've seen is some erosion along the coastal area that has destroyed the mangrove. But with regards to the pollution and the level of salinity in here, and whether that has any effect, no. Okay. The mangroves continue to be beautiful. What will happen is when because the forestry division doesn't understand the mangrove ecology and the dynamics. Now, mangrove produce a tremendous amount of leaf litter, and after many years, the leaf litter will compound itself and create mud bars and mud flats. The life of the swamp is really the river system and the artery. It's like your blood system. And if you have any blockage, then you will subside to heart attack or something. So it's the same thing with the mangrove swamp. If the rivers are blocked up, then what you will have is that the water trapped, and then with the sun it will heat itself, you will have evaporation, and then the salt content in that water will multiply, and eventually the mangrove will die off. And so it is important that the river system within the swamp remains open. I don't think the forestry division understands that, because they have no idea of what it goes on, and their idea of cutting back this river system is wrong. They prohibit anybody from trimming the rivers or cutting the mangrove, and that tells me they don't know what they're doing. They had a problem with the Bonaccord Lagoon swamp. The Bonaccord Lagoon swamp.
birds will see us back here.
Huh?
They will see us back here.
Oh yes, they know we